Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
With a continued passion for public television, we are proud to underwrite Steppin Out.
Please join us in supporting WYES television.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tucker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. It's good to see you.
Nice
Hello.
to be here. Thanks, Peg.
And boy, talk about double shot. Wonderful actors Lance E. Nichols and Billy Slaughter appearing together in a brand new film. Hi. That opens up tomorrow. So wonderful on Friday. In our studio, Dr. Michael White, New Orleans jazz clarinetist and, of course, historian, band leader, and longtime university professor at Xavier. Welcome, Michael, once again to our studio. Hello.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. And Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and theatercriticism.com.
Hey.
Poppy, hey, Alan. Poppy, we have some Halloween-themed happenings around town, very food-related.
Well, it's right around the corner, and if you don't make those reservations, sometimes you can't get in. I want to start off with what means more to me than almost anything, the Tujague's Halloween Drag Brunch, which is next Sunday, October 23rd. And I'd like to point out, it really does mean everything to me. Look at Elvira. That's Lana O'Day. Lana is coming out of retirement for Halloween this year. And Lana, of course, was in Drag Queen Brunch. And you know, it all truly started 7 years ago at that Halloween Drag Brunch when the Tujague's book came out. And that's how Drag Queen Brunch, the book, came to be. So I'm so excited Lana's coming back. I love her. And we have a special start time that's at 11:30. It's the usual 3 delicious courses by Chef Gus Martin, bottomless mimosas, just tons of fun. There's my darling friend Debbie with a D. At a past Halloween brunch, we've had so much fun. And then also at Tujague's on Friday, October the 28th, there'll be a witches luncheon. There's Laveau Contraire. And at the witches luncheon, there'll be 3 courses for $45. Everybody's just supposed to put on their very best witch hat and go on down for lunch. And of course, there'll be drink deals. And then there's also Halloween weekend at the Windsor Court. The teas are all Halloween themed and they'd like you to come in costume. Now on to a different kind of a celebration. It's a celebration because Ralph Brennan at Ralph's on the Park through November 13th is serving an incredible 3-crab course menu. And it's $65. Wine pairings can be added for $25. Look at that entree. Pan-seared Gulf fish with crab fat rice, crab velouté, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. And it's preceded by she crab soup and lump crab ravigote. The crabs are running and they're delicious. And what goes better with crabs than champagne? And so I'd like to remind everybody that International Champagne Day is right around the corner. The only certified Saber master, I'm not sure he's a master in sabering champagne, is my buddy Christian Pendleton at Brennan's, and he's giving a class that day. It's $80. It includes a bottle of Carnard Duchamp on Brut Rosé. And it's going to be so much fun. It's $15 if friends want to come along and share the champagne and they get a glass of bubbly. And bravo to Ralph Brennan, because throughout the entire month, for every bottle of bubbly purchased at happy hour, he's giving $5 to breast cancer.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh,
so have a
so
little
nice.
pink champagne and think pink and
Not
do
that we
good.
need a reason, but this is a
No.
very good reason.
Oh, never,
Thank you.
never.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Peg.
much, Poppy. And now, actually, in one of our studios, Michael White, and he's all by himself there. He's got the entire studio for him because he is going to perform. But before he does that, very kindly, one thing, you've spent your life talking, of course, about traditional jazz and the history of jazz. But one thing you want to point out is also it's the blues, too, right?
Yeah, the blues is a very, very important component of New Orleans jazz and a lot of other American music forms as well.
And you're going to actually engage in discourse and performance with Chris Thomas King. I'm so excited about that, who, of course, did a book, and this is Sunday, and it's free. Now, you're performing, and you've got your band, too. Tell us about what your plans are.
Yeah, we're going to do this program called New Orleans Home of the Blues. It's a discussion and performance, and we're going to look at and examine early blues, the origins and the importance of the blues. I'm going to make the case that New Orleans should be considered a major blues capital along with its other accolades. And Chris Thomas King is going to look at the origins of the blues, and he says that they really don't point to the Mississippi Delta like everyone believes, but that we should really look at New Orleans when we talk about the origins of the blues.
Well, of course, we love hearing that, and many folks remember him from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and so many other films, too. But he was one of my favorites in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou. Well, what a combination. Now, you're going to perform for us tonight, and what are you going to perform, sir?
Well, you know, since the blues is such an important part of jazz, we play blues music all the time. I'm going to improvise a little something. You know, I thought about this on a Thursday, so I'll call it Blues for Thursday morning.
Okay, go right ahead. Thank you. Dr. Michael White. Oh, of course. Once again, Sunday at 3 o'clock. But Michael, just backing up, I remember one time I asked you, like, to practically do the impossible when you played the opening to, of course, the West End Blues, and you did that so masterfully. And so for you now, like, you're just making this up, the most incredible, incredible melody. And hopefully that will be part of one of your many CDs coming up. But Michael, that was splendid.
Thank you.
What
Thank you
a
very
real
much.
treat. Okay, we'll come back to you. I know you're going to close us out a little later. Many, many thanks. And over to our actors. And Lance and I am so proud, and very, very sweetly, he remembers too. We knew each other from the drama department at UNO a little while ago, right?
A few years
Quite
back.
a few years. But you were, of course, in LA. You lived in a New Orleans guy, but in LA for many years. But you came back and you're making a living, of course, and Billy too. Billy was out and about and then back as well. And my goodness, I was looking at both of your resumes, and even though you're a little kid, but
Another
anyway,
UNO grad.
another proud UNO grad too. But anyway, thanks to both of you all, because your resumes are very, very long. But let's talk about this new film. How intriguing about Meriwether Lewis. Who wants to give us before we're going to set up the clip too?
Sure. Lance and I had the honor of co-starring in the film Mysterious Circumstance, The Death of Meriwether Lewis, and it takes place in 1809. Meriwether Lewis of Lewis and Clark fame.
Yes.
He died under mysterious circumstances along the Natchez Trace, and so we explore. At the time, it was ruled a suicide, but of course, people didn't necessarily buy that then, and a lot of evidence has come to light since. So we present the many sides of what could have possibly happened.
Wow. And Lance, I was asking you off camera, I said, gee, I guess it must have been, you worked outside. It must have been really hot.
Oh, no. It was quite cold, and Billy can attest to that.
So this is in the Natchez Trace during the winter? Or?
Yes. Well, historically, the event took place on the Natchez Trace, so we're accurate there. I don't think it happened in the winter. It wasn't too far removed, but we started shooting when one of those nights it seemed like winter broke overnight. So a lot of the actors that seemed like they're roughing it, and shivering, and the nice ice frost breath. It was really dramatic.
And of course, the wardrobe for that period is really skimpy, so there was no warmth at all.
Exactly. And it's already won an award, Los Angeles Film Critics Award, Film Award too, huh? And very exciting. There it is. There's that's you.
We've
Look at
been
that.
super fortunate.
You.
It was great on the film festival circuit. It won awards, the top award at almost every festival it played. State to state, New York and Los Angeles and Florida, Iowa.
Right.
And the director is a Mississippi guy?
Yes, Clark Ritchie is writer-director, and he's from that area, North Mississippi, so he's an amateur historian. He wrote what he knew, and he thought this was one of their best, just a great local Southern story to tell.
Well, set up the clip. We're about to see a clip. Do y'all want to? You've got excerpts. You're both in the clips, and
Surely.
It's sort of mysterious circumstances.
It might start with me. So I play Alexander Wilson, who was a noted naturalist. He was actually the main influence on Audubon, who we're more familiar with here, and he was personal friends with Lewis and President Jefferson, who then 2 years later sent him to the site of Lewis's death to investigate.
And I know you're in clips with John Schneider.
Yes, I am. I play John Pernier, who was Meriwether Lewis's tour guide.
Okay.
Who was commissioned by Thomas Jefferson to go along with him.
Oh my goodness.
At the time. What I learned is that John Pernier was a free man of color, which was quite unusual during that period of time.
And of course, this opens tomorrow, Friday.
Finally, New Orleans premiere starts tomorrow night, Friday at Zeitgeist Theatre. Lance and I will be there, 7 o'clock. Tickets are on Fandango, but then it's running through the 20th as well.
Well, how exciting, though. And you all have also been involved with lots of other things, too. I mean, the whole idea is you're making a living, living in New Orleans, and you're doing this in Hollywood. How has that been? Lance, how long have you been back to New Orleans after so many years?
I've been back 20 years. I came back in 2002.
Wow. But you were in L.A. for many years.
I was in L.A. for 25 years. So I did my time. That's how I look at it.
And Benjamin Button, Treme, we were talking about Treme. I think if somebody wanted to do that again, I bet it would be even more popular, the Treme series on HBO.
Yeah, I don't think that story was fully told.
No. No,
You know?
and you were such a part of it, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And Billy, I mean, you know, you were in The Big Short, which a lot of people, I think people don't realize that was shot here, which is a
Yes.
wonderful film, you know. And you've been keeping very busy here, too, and you make your home here.
Yes, Lance and I are both, proud natives, and we're having a career in film. It's nice to be able to do that here.
Right. And Lance, I know you have been also coaching. You've been coaching for many years as well.
Yeah, I was coaching live pre-pandemic, and then once the pandemic hit, I took all my classes online, Zoom, but I've gone nationwide, private, one-on-one coaching, and I love it.
Right.
I will always teach. When I'm not acting, I will teach because I love teaching as much as I love acting.
Right. And you have also guided some folks, too, maybe not to the extent of Lance.
Long-time
but-
acting coach as well, and yeah, we have so much talent here, and finally we had the opportunity. So it's great to see, different generations, all kinds, coming out of New Orleans, and making some big things happen.
Okay, well, a little bit later we'll hear about what they're up to next, but now we'll move over to Alan.
Well,
Thank
Peggy,
you.
with In the Heights, Jefferson Performing Arts Society says basically that they're going to be doing more innovative shows, perhaps direct from Broadway. It took about 15 years for this one to get here, though, but they are doing great. Michelle Pietri serves as the director and choreographer for this, which was the 2008 Tony Award winner for Best Musical. Lin-Manuel Miranda's music and lyrics is coupled with Chiara Alegria Jueves' book, and it's a love letter to New York, really the home of Latin culture, the nexus, as you will, of all these different cultures. And the story is about Uznavi. He is a small Dominican bodega owner, played by Alcee Jones in this particular iteration, with his buddies Benny, played by Neil Eli, and Sonny, played by Claudio Venancio. Uznavi contemplates maybe leaving the neighborhood, maybe going back to the Dominican Republic. Benny has his heart set on winning the heart, if you will, of the daughter of the owners of the car service he works for. She's Nina. She's a college dropout. She's returned home feeling rather disappointing to everybody. Kelly Lanes, who is, by the way, just a high school student, she has an amazing voice for Nina, and I urge everybody to check her out. Uznavi has his eyes, meanwhile, on Vanessa, played by Gia Martinez, one of the hairstylists at the salon owned by Daniela. She's a great part there for Skylar Broussard, and they dish the gossip, etc., and the song No Me Diga. Now, Benny has a hard time trying to contemplate his I guess you might say relationship with Nina, as well as with her parents. That's Paul Bello there and Elizabeth Ulawa Lowry, who both do well in their roles. Nothing seems to faze the Peruagua guy, though. That's Adriel Aviles. He has to only worry about his competitor, Mr. Softy. And it's, again, a wonderful opportunity to have these great big numbers where they have the dancing, Carnival del Barrio, and a fantastic finale, or just some of the things that make this such an interesting and wonderful show to see. A shout out to Ilana Poland, who plays Abuela Claudia. Now, she is Uznavi's quote-unquote grandmother. She's a wonderful casting choice in this particular show, and always great work with the orchestra by Maestro Dennis Asaf, and scenic design by Eric Porter, a great set, and scenic art by Edward Cox. The final shows for In the Heights this weekend. Check it out. Also, I want to say thanks to the original Daniela from In the Heights. If you saw her picture there, she is, of course, the remarkable Andrea Burns, who surprised both Michelle Pietri and several of the cast members on my NOLA Theater Talk show last Monday. She had a video welcoming them to the In the Heights family, and they were shocked, to say the least. Meanwhile, fasten your seatbelts, Peggy. It's going to be a bumpy night. That's because BB's Stage Door Canteen is getting ready to present Bette Davis, Larger Than Life. This is starring Jessica Scher. She is what you would call, I guess maybe taking lessons from Lance, she is a method actor. She has done extensive research on the movie career of Bette Davis. She, of course, is the big actress who was larger than life. Jessica takes on emotional roller coasters of her life of being a contract player to the major studios. She was a big top box office draw, but of course she was considered almost a slave in the way she was worked. She defied the studio heads, and even from time to time was suspended by Jack Warner on many an occasion. We also learn about her private life, her many failed marriages. Jessica Scher took this to the Edinburgh Theatre Festival, and it sold out many times over. She's also streamed the show during the pandemic. She goes through numerous numerous costume changes and details Betty's life. She ended up winning 2 Oscars, some of them the great scenes from Dark Victory, Jezebel, and All About Eve. Now, due to the Crew of Boo Parade, I have to let everybody know that next Saturday night's BB Stage Door Canteen performance of Bette Davis Larger Than Life has been canceled, but they will be on Friday and they will be on Sunday, so check those out. And last but not least, I want to make mention of the play that goes wrong, which is, of course, over at Le Petit Theater. They've got a number of things that are going to be going on for them.
And she is doing your show, your NOLA Theater Talk, as well.
That's one thing I did want to make. I know you sort of, NOLA Theater Talk is going to be Monday night. Jessica's going to be on the show.
Okay.
We'll learn more about that show. And then,
Great. And then you've got the play that goes wrong at Le Petit, right?
Okay. I just wanted to make
sure.
You're
busy on your theater show.
A lot of stuff. And if I may, just say, can I sneak in just a couple of quick shout-outs to the LPO? They're doing some wonderful work. On October the 22nd, they're going to be doing a Sunset Symphony as the sun sets, with some beautiful music there. And then on the 26th, the maestro himself, Carlos Miguel Prieto, will be back with Ravel and Debussy. We'll talk about that again. Hopefully, maybe people get a chance to see that as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Alan. And now time for our picks of the week. Poppy.
Well, Michael White put us all in the mood for this weekend's Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival, taking place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Lafayette Square Park. And then I also have to mention, I just love the Gallia House, and they are doing their After Dark for the first time, Creole Death and Mourning. So you can go down there for the 22nd, 29th, and 30th, and after the tour and the whole experience, you get a glass of wine in the courtyard. So I thought I could talk about it.
Absolutely.
Boo.
Boo. Michael, your pick of the week. Michael.
Well, you can continue to find my recordings on Basin Street Records, www.basinstreetrecords.com.
All right, thank you. Lance.
My pick of the week, November 2nd, which is All Souls Day at Solomon Theater at St. Martin's High School, is a short film called The Dead Driver, in which I have the lead in. It's a supernatural thriller, and that's all I'm going to say about it at this point.
All right, Billy.
I'm next on the small screen in the Winchesters on October 25th and the big screen in the Estate on November 4th. I play a lawyer and a demon, and I'll let you guess which one. Not too different.
Alan.
Well, I saw Christine Ebersol for the first time live when she played opposite Patti LuPone in 2017. The 2-time Tony Award winner is arriving back in New Orleans. She was last year seen as part of Mark Cortelli Productions' wonderful Noka series that they did, and she'll be back now at Rivertown Theaters. A reminder that she returns this Saturday night only, and you can get tickets there. They're still available. I'll see you at the theater.
All right, and I have plenty of picks. Thank you. Andrea Bocelli is coming to New Orleans for the first time in his career. It's for a concert February 11th, 2023 at the Smoothie King Center. Tickets will go on sale to the general public next week, but we have a special offer here at WYES. For members, you can receive 2 tickets if you become a member or renew your membership at certain levels. So for more information, go to WYES.org. And Bocelli's concert, recorded live in New York Central Park in 2011, will be airing several times on WYES over the next few weeks, including tonight, right after our Thursday broadcast. So Bocelli's program at 7:30 and again on Sunday at 1 p.m. It features him performing alongside Celine Dion, Tony Bennett, David Foster, and more. WYES will hold a blood drive. That's Monday at the station from 1 to 5 p.m. Once again, go to WYES.org and click on events for information. The 50th annual annual Gem and Mineral Show. Put that together, okay? Will take place this weekend at the Hilario Center. That's Friday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Gems, jewelry, events for the entire family. Artist Catherine Clemitis is known for her animal and pet portraits, along with some beautiful jewelry. She is going to have an open house. That's on Sunday, You have to check that out, and that's from 1 to 5 p.m. at 4500 Rebecca Boulevard in Metairie. Go to her website, kkanola.com, to see her work, and she's also on Etsy as well. All kinds of great things. Guitarist Mark Stone's going to be at the Maple Leaf next Wednesday and for the next few Wednesdays, and you can check that out with the information right there. He's a wonderful guitarist. And this weekend, his band will also be performing with Bakey's Brew. And then on the 26th, John Mooney and Marilyn Barbaran. Looking ahead, the genealogy group, La Creole, is going to have their Research Association Symposia coming up. That's next week. You can go to lacreole.org for more information about that. All kinds of great things. And now we're going to go back over, there you go, Creole, Saturday, October the 22nd. And now, though, we're going to go back over to Michael White. Michael, you're going to close us out. What are you going to play? Some more improv or what?
Well, this song everybody knows. We're going to do this at the program on the 16th at Xavier, our special blues program. This particular song is one of the most popular songs in the history of New Orleans, and it is also a 12-bar blues structure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
With a continued passion for public television, we are proud to underwrite Steppin Out.
Please join us in supporting WYES television.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org.